I am a survivor of domestic violence. About 10 years ago, I found myself unconscious in the middle of Interstate 85.
I started to notice a little bit of controlling behaviors. It continued where he threw me into the wall and then finally slamming me onto the ground.
The landlord came to the door and he murdered my brother. Shot 8 times.
My boyfriend at the time was visiting, and he called me to the bathroom of my house, and he doused me with industrial grade drain cleaner.
I had no idea that he was out, that he had posted bond. No one notified me of anything.
I was not present with a victim's advocate, as you're supposed to be when a plea is decided.
They said they released him 3 months after the conviction date, but they never notified us. They never told us.
1 year after the crime, he was booked in and released immediately. Never spent a night in jail.
I had absolutely no idea in the state of Georgia that criminals have more rights than victims.
Marsy's Law is a recognition that victims of crime who have rights in this state ought to have those rights recognized in our state constitution.
Marsy's Law is a constitutional amendment that attempts to bring victims of crimes into the process, into the judicial system, so that they have a voice in the process.
It's very important that it's in the Constitution because there are a lot of victims out there that come forward every day. But there's also a lot of victims that don't come forward because they don't feel like they're protected.
Marsy's Law for me is elevation of rights of victims to the same level as defendants have currently under our Constitution.
Marsy's Law is going to make it possible for victims to have a voice in the courts, to make sure that they can speak to the judge before sentencing, to be ensured the right to know that a convicted criminal is coming up for parole.
Victims should be allowed to be in court at court proceedings and be notified of that.
Anyone, anywhere, at any time can be the victim of a crime.
If you believe that our state and the citizens that are represented by our state and our Constitution need to recognize what a victim has gone through, that they in fact deserve to be given notice, that they deserve to be a part of the process, and that they deserve to be heard, then you support the basic tenets of Marsy's Law.
If there has ever been anything that we can all agree on, it should be protecting victims and ensuring that they become survivors. It's not about right versus left, it's about right versus wrong.
Marsy's Law is definitely what's needed in Georgia to protect the people, to protect the state.
Georgia needs Marsy's Law because it saves lives.